All right, today is August the 9th, 2016, and right now at 8:50 p.m. in the foothills, we have a temperature of 70 degrees. The relative humidity is 73%. The barometer is reading 29.92, which is on the rise, and the dew point is 60 degrees. And we had sunny skies, hazy sun most of the day, all day actually, and just basically no clouds anywhere. I could not see any chemtrails. I didn't see any aerosols anywhere in the LA basin. Okay, so let's take a look at the western U.S. water vapor loop. And Javier was blown apart. This morning we saw a lot of the residual moisture from Javier being destroyed by microwave. Some of that moisture is moved up into Arizona and New Mexico. There's strong high pressure on the east side of this system. We can see all that clockwise rotation. And also, if we go into the infrared loop here, we can see that there was a blast right here, right there. That big hole opens up. Let's just watch that for a second. And then we'll take a look at this on the visible light mode. This was a moisture field that had moved up from the remnants of Javier. Some of that moisture drifted up today into the Arizona area, and so they blew that apart. They superheated that with microwave. And if we go to the water vapor, the visible light loop here, we can see the circular hole that opens up. So it's very clear that that area was targeted. Okay, let's go back to the big map, the northeast Pacific water vapor loop. We can see that got a huge low pressure system right here, just north west of the Hawaiian Islands right here. That's a very large system. If we look at this in the infrared loop, we can see there's a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of moisture in this system. And this is all moving towards the Hawaiian Islands right there. Right there is the Hawaiian Islands. And we can see that things are starting to dissipate as this moisture field moves towards the islands. Things start to thin out. Right near the that island right there is Kauai, I believe, that northernmost island, the large northernmost island there. That's Kauai. And we'll just keep an eye on what happens here. But this is a very large upper level low pressure system. Also, we have a channel of dry air that's been installed right here. And what's happening is that the jet stream is diving down. We can see that. And it's mushrooming right into this area of high pressure that's been installed. If you look at this in the infrared loop, we can see that channel of dry air. This is a powerful transmitter, probably a phased array type transmitter that is cutting a large channel of high pressure through this area, generating heat. And we can see the effect that that's having. This moisture, which has a fairly good velocity, is just running right into that barrier right there. Has nowhere to go. Okay. So some of that moisture is moving to the west. The other portion is moving over towards the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. And the main reason that this has been built in is to prevent this moisture field from feeding. There's a low pressure system here that's been targeted all week. We were watching this. This has been beat down with a transmitter. This was a fairly well-defined core a couple of days ago, but we can see that they're hitting this with heat, and the core is disorganized. We actually see some clockwise movement in this core. All right, so what they've done here is they built this high pressure in to prevent this moisture field from feeding that vortex. And the same thing is happening here. If we go back to the loop, we can see that the system here is, we've got the same thing happening here. This is all being cleared out. And then we have all this monsoonal moisture over here is spinning clockwise. None of that is getting anywhere near California. We have this stationary upper level low pressure it was parked over Vancouver and Washington for a few days, is now moved to the east. And also we see that there's a transmitter here plowing a path right through the California, Nevada, Utah. And that will maintain dry conditions for Southern California. Here is the jet stream map, 300 millibar jet stream. There's very little activity. We were looking at that jet stream flow up here that's being blocked. That's this area right here. And then we do have some flow right through diagonally through here. This is a transmitter generating this flow, though. If you go back again and look at this again, this is an artificial. This is all man-made. This has been plowed, cleared out, and that will maintain dry conditions that will prevent this moisture from getting anywhere near California in the southwest. Now this is the National Hurricane Center. They have this track still in place here showing this storm moving up the coast, but in fact that storm has been blown apart. Let's go back and take a look. The storm has just been completely wiped out. The core is not much left. Probably just maybe some little bit of rain and some wind, but nothing very dangerous. The winds are down to, I believe, 35 mile per hour. Let's go back and take a look at that here real quick. Right here, Javier is a post-tropical cyclone with 30 mile per hour winds. So that's really not anything to get worried about, but we'll keep an eye on that. They forecast it to continue moving up the peninsula, but that storm has been wiped out. Okay, here's the pressure chart for the sea level pressure right here. We have that. High pressure is installed in the East Pacific as usual. We have an area of low pressure up here. This is where that upper level low is moved from Washington over towards Montana. We have low pressure indicated right over southern Texas and part of Mexico right there. Let's take a look at the 500 millibar chart. See high pressure all through this entire area. We have some squiggly lines. Once again, that indicates varying degrees of high and low pressure. Remember that transmitter blew this area of moisture apart right here. And so we have these thunderstorms moving around in here. That's low pressure at the surface and mid-level, but yet they're indicating high pressure, and we have these squiggly lines. So this makes sense when they're hitting these with transmitters. It generates a lot of heat, a lot of high pressure, steam, and so that would this makes sense. Squiggly lines there, and we have the 300 millibar map showing low pressure right here between Washington and Montana, and this is all high pressure all through here. And we have a low, that upper level low that's they've been hitting this with energy all week long, the last 4 or 5 days. And then we have the IntelliCast map showing the precipitation. Most of that precipitation is moved, the moisture is moved into New Mexico, part of Mexico, northern Mexico right here. Here we have the southwest water vapor map. And we can see the general flow is to the northeast. Everything is being pushed away. Look at this in the rainbow loop. We have corrupted maps right here where that area was blown apart. Let's go to the visible light mode and we can see a little more detail right here. That was superheated with a transmitter and everything evaporates. We can see all that. There's some evidence of blast patterns right here. Shock waves right there. Like something down here as well. That may be the leftovers of Javier right down there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here's the SSEC visible map. Let's go take a look at the water vapor version of this same map. It's taking a while to load. Okay, well, it's not working out. There we go. All right. That's the report for tonight. And we will keep an eye on Javier and what happens. And also, this area of low pressure right here, this is interesting because Hawaii is going to get hit, and it's going to be interesting to see what the strategy is right here. What they do with this system. All right. That's it. We'll do another one tomorrow.